All right, let's just admit it. AI has totally flipped the script on education and research. It's a huge shift, and honestly, everyone from students to faculty to entire universities is scrambling to figure out how to handle it. So today, we're going to dig into a platform called TAVA that's offering a really interesting new path forward, a true partnership between our own human curiosity and artificial intelligence. Okay, so before we get into the solution, let's really get to the heart of the problem that a tool like Tava is even trying to solve. What's the fundamental tension that AI has dropped right into the middle of the classroom? This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The arrival of tools like ChatGPT, it wasn't a slow burn. It felt like an overnight explosion. And with that kind of speed, you get a lot of confusion, a lot of gaps, and a ton of questions about how we're supposed to use this powerful tech without, losing our own critical thinking skills in the process. And this slide, man, it just lays out the dilemma perfectly. It's this constant balancing act. On one side, you've got this incredible promise, right? The speed, the efficiency, getting access to information like never before. But then you have the other side of the coin, the peril, the real risk to academic integrity, the nightmare of plagiarism, and maybe the trickiest one of all, those black box answers, where an AI spits out a result, but you have absolutely no idea how it got there. So, how do you get all that good stuff without falling into the bad? How do you get the promise without the peril? Well, that's exactly the question that brings us to TAVA. And it's important to see it not just as another piece of software, but as a whole new philosophy for how we can work with AI. And here it is, the core idea, spelled out right in the tagline: collaborative learning done right. The key words here are obviously collaborative and right. It's not about the AI doing the work for you. It's about augmenting you, the learner, in a way that's structured, transparent, and, well, done the right way. I really like this definition, especially that image of a connective fiber. That's what TIVA wants to be. It's the link between our own creativity, our ingenuity, and the raw power of assistive AI. The end goal isn't just to get an answer faster. It's to actually boost our critical thinking and, this is the big one, to protect intellectual integrity from start to finish. So how do they actually pull this off? Well, it's all built on these three big ideas. First, the AI is treated like a research partner, not some magic answer machine. Second, it uses this idea of cognitive scaffolding. Just think of it like training wheels when you're learning to ride a bike. It's a support system that helps you build your own arguments instead of just handing them to you fully formed. And third, and maybe most importantly, it makes the entire research process, the whole journey, totally visible to everyone involved. Okay, so that's the philosophy. But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's walk through the actual workflow and see how you get from a simple question all the way to a real insight. The whole process breaks down into these four pretty simple stages. It all starts with you and your question. From there, you explore the sources the AI helps you find, you capture the ideas that jump out at you, and finally, you build your document. It's a really logical flow that always keeps you, the human researcher, firmly in the driver's seat. And this right here, this is absolutely crucial. The whole process isn't kicked off by some generic prompt you feed an AI. No, it's driven by your curiosity. The human is always the starting point. And you can see that starting point right here. The interface is super clean, no distractions. It's just you and the question you want to explore. In this case, it's, how will AI impact financial risk management in the next 5 years? You type that in, and that one human act kicks off the entire partnership. So once you've put your question out there, the AI steps in as your research partner. And notice, it doesn't just give you a single finished answer. That would be too easy. Instead, it suggests different pathways, different avenues for you to explore yourself. Now, take a look at this screen. Sure, the AI gives you a summary and some top sources, which is great, but the real secret sauce, in my opinion, are those dig deeper prompts down at the bottom. The system is actively nudging you, encouraging you to ask follow-up questions and explore related ideas. That is that cognitive scaffolding we were talking about, right in action. So as you're digging through all these sources and summaries, you're going to find little nuggets of gold, key quotes, interesting data points, powerful ideas. TAVA makes it incredibly simple to grab these and make them the building blocks of your project. It's literally this easy. You find some text that matters to you, you highlight it, and you click Create Note. And just like that, that little piece of information gets pulled into your project workspace. And crucially, it's automatically linked back to its original source. Every single note is a transparent, traceable building block. Okay, so this brings us to two of the absolute pillars of TAVA: the features that directly attack those big problems of academic integrity and messy group projects. Let's talk about traceability and teamwork. Right off the bat, TAVA is designed for people to work together. You can easily invite your teammates or colleagues into a project and give them specific roles. Someone can be a contributor, meaning they can add notes and ideas, or just a reader who can follow along with the progress. And what's so cool is that the conversation happens right on the research itself. Each one of those notes we created has its own comment thread, so your team can have super focused discussions about specific pieces of information, building on each other's work in a way that's clear and organized, not lost in a messy email chain. And this all leads to the big promise, the one thing that really sets this approach apart. In a world that's getting more and more anxious about where information comes from, TAVA creates a clear, undeniable audit trail for the entire research process. Check this out. This is where the traceability really comes to life. When you put together a final document, you can click this little icon here and see the exact DNA of that document, every single note, every original source, and every team member's contribution that went into building it. There is no black box. The entire intellectual journey is laid bare. And then, the cherry on top, TAVA automatically puts together a full list of references for every source you used in your project. I mean, come on, that solves one of the biggest headaches for any student or researcher, and it makes sure proper credit is given, just baked right into the process. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, what you've got here is way more than just a slick new tool. It feels more like a redefinition of what research can even look like now in the age of AI. And you can see how the impact ripples out to everyone. For a whole university, it's a way to centralize projects and build up a searchable archive of knowledge. For professors, it's a transparent way to see a student's process, not just the final essay. And for students, it's empowering. It lets them use the best parts of AI without losing their own unique voice. Which kind of leaves you with this one big thought, doesn't it? Maybe we've been looking at AI all wrong. Maybe its real true power isn't just about spitting out answers on command. What if its real gift is being a partner that pushes us, challenges us, and ultimately helps us all learn to ask better, deeper, more interesting questions?